Can you all hear me? Okay, so can you hear me? Okay, so you can hear me now. Okay, so let me just gotta get rid of this. Sorry, you guys, for all this. It's like I've been having one heck of a time getting this to work. Yay! Okay, so what I'm gonna do is hopefully this comes up for you guys. Just give me a second. It says it's sharing my window, but my window is not showing up. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm just like, okay. This way maybe? And this. And this. I know, I'm seeing that. It's like, I'm trying to get, okay, hang on a second. Maybe I clicked something wrong. Stop sharing that. Okay. Okay, so what if I do this and then do this? Share screen. Share audio. Share. Okay, now, let me see. Okay, what if I do this and do this? Woohoo! It's up. Oh my God, you guys, I'm so sorry. Looks like it. Okay, can you guys see it all now? Can you hear me? Okay, so it's up and you guys can hear me? Woohoo! This trying to stream stuff and get it like this, you guys, it's like, this is as much of a circus for me as even covering this Chad and Lori Daybell. I mean, Daybell. Did I say that out loud? Okay, so I've got my phone. Now I see why they say I should have two screens. Because I'm watching you guys. I have to watch your comments on my phone but I'm streaming from my computer. Okay. Now, I had already got this all done. It took me a bit to go through it, so I'm going to have to, because I have to leave here by 1. So I'm going to try and get through this, you guys, so you guys can see all this. I had it all done. I'd gone through everything. And now I got to do it again because for some reason it wouldn't. I wanted to go through it with you guys and watch the video with you guys, and somehow, for some reason, it wouldn't let me do it. So here we go. We're going to jump right into it, okay? So this is the circus that's going on now between Mark Means, John Pryor, and the state of Idaho, as well as Robert Wood. So over the last 2 days, I guess I've been showing you guys that there's been some stuff going on behind in the background. So I'm going to go through it. I'm going to read it. I'm going to try and watch your comments at the same time, but I want to get through this. Okay, so Mark Means has filed a motion in the District Court of the 7th Judicial District. Okay, it's a motion to disqualify prosecuting attorney Robert Wood. Okay, so there's some things that are going to be in here. This is the one that Mark Means filed, motion that he filed, and then the next day John Pryor filed his own motion. They're pretty much the same. I think he just used Mark Means's motion and just took bits and pieces. Like he should have just copied and pasted. It's pretty much the same, but there are a few differences, and there's a few things that I've seen that I want to bring to your guys' attention that I don't know what's going on here, but there's something going on. Hey, Des, I got to get through this quick because, you know, I got to get to my son's there for 1. So I already did this and I screwed it up like usual. StreamYards is easier. I have figured it out. But what a kerfunkel. Oh, anyway, I'm here. So I want to get through this. Now there is one thing I want you guys to pay attention to. I'm going to go back to this first, to the top, before we get into this. Okay, do you see what I have highlighted here? Mark Means. Remember this, you guys. 429 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 110. Okay, in Meridian, Idaho, I believe. Whatever. But this, I want you to pay attention to this. Okay, and this is Mark Means. So let's get into this. This is his motion to disqualify prosecuting attorney Robert Wood, and motion to extend time on motion to dismiss. So he says, come now, the above named defendant, Miss Lori Vallow, and by through her attorney of record, Mark Means of the law office of Means Law Office, blah, 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 move this honorable court for an order disqualifying and removing special counsel Robert Wood from his criminal case, and that he be directed that he is not to take any further action regarding any matter as it pertains to this case. The court has and is granted the inherent authority to remove the prosecutor on many grounds. Okay, so counsel for the defendant moves this court for this order as Mr. Wood has committed prosecutorial misconduct. The misconduct further supports the defendant's motion to extend time to dismiss, to allow the defense to amend its motion and present the newly acquired additional evidence that was not included in any of the state's discovery responses, including but not limited to the most recent discovery responses provided to the defense. Okay, so the grounds for the motion is, said motion is based upon a recently received audio recording between Mr. Robert Wood and the material witness, Summer Shiflett, that's the biological sister of the defendant, Lori Vallow Daybell, that occurred in October 2020. The recording clearly illustrates Mr. Wood's attempt to coerce, unduly influence, coach, or intimidate the said material witness to this case. In addition, an audio recording of Mr. Wood interviewing another material witness, Zuluma Pastines, also added around the same time in October 2020, discussing matters that support the state's position of the case, etc. This here, I mean, is you don't see this etc. You know what I mean? Especially in a high profile criminal case where you're filing a motion. You don't use this etc. But anyway, I found a few boo-boos that Mr. Mark Means has done. Okay, so defense asserts the following. 1, the prosecutor in misconduct violated the due process right to the defendant's Idaho and U.S. constitutional right to a fair and impartial trial. The prosecutor engaged in coercive, unduly influenced, coaching, and intimidating tactics to manipulate material witnesses in this case. The prosecutor in this case violated the Idaho rules of professional conduct as well as the ABA rules by his actions, statements, and the like detailed on the said audio tape. The prosecutor's misconduct could be construed under the witness tampering and witness intimidation statutes as criminal acts. So he's saying that he's committed a criminal act. The prosecutor's misconduct has made him a material and necessary witness in this criminal case. Further, the defense intends to file additional motions as it relates to this evidence and intends to subpoena the prosecutor as a witness to support these motions, future motions, and the trial itself. So he is, like, if you can see in this, he's done this. This is what Rob Wood has done. He has violated. He has misconduct, has made him, and it's made him a material. Okay, so you see how to the point Mark Means is accusing, straight, forthwith, no question about it, accusing him. Okay, this is going to come into play when I read John Pryor's motion. So keep that in mind also, as well as his office address. Okay, the prosecutor's misconduct has caused the potential for a future civil directed at or involving Fremont County, Madison County, as well as the prosecutor and any other entitles. This is a boo-boo. It should be entities involved or associated with this misconduct. So there's a boo-boo right here. Entitles. Another boo-boo. Like, I don't know what his office is doing, but this should have been entities. Okay? Involved or associated with misconduct. So in other words, he's talking about future civil litigation directed towards them, maybe suing them or whatever. Okay? Because of what Rob Wood has done. Okay, the prosecutor's misconduct has included concealing evidence in violation of Brady and the Rule 16 of Idaho Rules of Criminal Procedure. Defendant, through her counsel, moves this court to order disqualifying Robert Wood as prosecutor in this matter, and that he be directed that he is to take no further action in this case in any matter. That Mr. Wood be directed that he is to appear as a witness in the hearing set for this motion, that this court allow grant for out-of-state subpoenas of other parties to the audio recording. So why he is putting this part in here, you guys, is this is so he can call Lori's sister, Alex Cox's wife, now that she's a widow, and this other attorney, and pay for all their lodging, fuel costs, transportation, whatever. That's why he's putting that in there. Okay? And he wants to be paid for having to do all this extra work, and he wants the state to pay for it. Okay? For all of this, including their lodging and anything that would, they would have to pay to come to this motions hearing, okay, for the witnesses. That the court grant as sanction all fees and costs in having to present this motion. So he wants all his time and everything paid by the state, okay, because of Robert Woods. Like, he's trying to put the nails to Robert Woods, and he's trying to get everybody pissed at Robert Woods because now they've got to pay all these extra fees that he's asking for, and the fees to lodge all these witnesses and all their traveling fees and whatnot, okay? So that's why he's put this in here, okay? That the defense shall seek additional remedies, which shall be detailed during the hearing of this motion if appropriate, which means he's gonna try and sue. That's what he's gonna try and do. And this is all being done, you guys, because they're trying to get these charges dismissed, okay? That the defense be permitted to submit this audio recording as evidence in the hearing to support the motion, Defendant respectively requests that this hearing be conducted in person, at the proceeding be recorded, unsealed. Keep this in mind, unsealed, because John Pryor is not asking for this to be this motion and the hearing. He's going to ask for it to be recorded and a transcript of it, but he's not asking it to be unsealed, which means that it can be released to the public. Mark Means wants it released to the public. Okay, so I see kind of, when you see John Pryor's motion that he filed, you're going to see that he's using Mark Means as his gopher, making Mark Means the bad guy. If any of this is people freak out about it, he's going to throw it back on Mark Means, because he's going to say, I didn't ask for this to be unsealed. Whatever. You're going to see when we get to John Pryor. Okay, so he wants it to be recorded, he wants it in person, he wants it unsealed, and a transcript. Okay, and he wants that to be in an order. Okay, so the rest is just an affidavit of service. Okay, so there's a few things I told you guys to watch for. I'm going to go back up to the top here because I want this. Do you remember this? Mark Means, 429 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 110. We're going to go to John Pryor's motion. This is John Pryor's motion that he filed with the court, electronically filed. Look at his address. He's in the same office as Mark Means. 429 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 110. You see Mark Means? 429 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 110. I think they're in cahoots now. They're trying to get these charges dismissed, and if they can't do this and get John Wood off this case and things that they want done, and they want the prosecuting office now to be looked like idiots and that they're not being truthful and all this stuff that they're trying to do. If that doesn't work, then I think they're going to go after each other. But right now they're working in cahoots to see what they can get. Okay. So John Pryor followed this now for both, for Chad and Lori, whereas Mark Means filed just for Lori. Okay, so there's another little tidbit. Okay, he's also asking for the extended time for the hearing to dismiss all the charges. Okay, so now what he says. Now let's watch this. Comes now the above named defendant, Chad Guy Daybell, by and through his attorney on record, John Pryor, and moves this honorable court for an order disqualifying and removing the special counsel, Robert Wood, from his criminal case, and that he be directed that he is not to take any further action regarding any matter that it pertains to this case. The court has and in granted the inherent authority to remove an attorney for a variety of reasons. Okay, he's saying an attorney. Anyway, counsel for the defendant, Chad Guy Daybell, moves this court for this order that it is alleged that Mr. Wood has committed prosecutorial misconduct. This misconduct further supports defendant's motion to extend time to dismiss, to allow the defense to amend its motion and present additional evidence. Okay, now watch this. Remember in Mark Means's, he is accusatory. He did this. This is what he did. The prosecutor violated the due process. The prosecutor violated the Idaho rules of professional contact. The prosecutor's misconduct. He's out and out said he has violated. He's accusatory. Look at John Pryor's, his grounds. The prosecutor's alleged misconduct. He's not out and out saying, you did this. He's alleging. Okay, so that's something else. This is how I say he's using Mark Means as his little gopher. Look at you, put in yours. You accuse, you do the accusing, you do the accusing, and then I'll file mine. But when he files his, he puts alleged, because it was alleged by who other than Mark Means. Okay, you see how this is working out? Okay, so the prosecutor's alleged misconduct violated the due process rights of the defendants on Idaho U.S. constitutional right to a fair and impartial trial. The prosecutor engaged in coercive, unduly influential, and intimidating tactics to manipulate a material witness in this case. The audio recording presents these allegations clearly on the tape. The prosecutor in this case violated. Now, he's not saying alleged here. I think he did a boo-boo because now he's saying he violated. He's not saying alleged. The Idaho rules of professional conduct as well as the ABA rules by his actions detailed on the audio tape. So then he goes back to this alleged. The prosecutor's alleged misconduct. So has he violated, or are you saying he alleged? Like he can't make up his mind. Like, ooh, look, squirrels. Okay, anyway. So now he's back to saying alleged misconduct could be construed under the witness tampering and witness intimidation statutes as criminal acts. The prosecutor's alleged misconduct has made him a material witness in this criminal case. So he's not saying in the motion now, he is saying throughout the whole case, he's made himself now a witness, material witness. Further, the defense intends to file additional motions. Here we go. Here's the circus. This is why I said, not my circus, not my monkeys. Further, the defense intends to file additional motions as it relates to this evidence and intends to subpoena the prosecutor as a witness to support these motions. The prosecutor's alleged misconduct has caused the potential for future civil litigation, so maybe John Pryor's going to sue too. Directed at Fremont and Madison counties, as well as the prosecutor and any and all other, here we go, he got it right, entities, not entitled. He got it at least right. Involved or associated with this misconduct. So he's going after the prosecutor's office and everything. And Fremont and Madison counties. He's going after everybody. Okay, the prosecutors, here we go again, alleged misconduct has included concealing evidence in violation of Brady and the Rule 16 of Idaho Rules of Criminal Procedure. Defendant, through his counsel, moves this honorable court for an order disqualifying Robert Wood as prosecutor in this matter, and that he be directed that he is to take no further action in any case, in this case in any way, that the court grant as a sanction. So, bad Mr. Rob Wood, you bad boy, you're going to pay for all our subpoenas, you're going to pay for all our doing up of these motions, you're going to pay for all our witnesses to come forward and lodging them in a hotel and all their travel fees and missed work. You're paying for everything as a sanction. All fees and costs in having to present this motion and all related costs incurred. So they're trying to make everybody pissed now at Rob Wood. Okay, that defense shall seek additional remedies, which means I think they want to go back and sue. If the court finds Rob Wood done something wrong, he's going to go back and sue them all. That defense be permitted to submit this audio recording as evidence in this hearing and to support this motion. Defendant respectively requests that this hearing be conducted, here we go, in person, same as Mark Means asked, and that the proceedings be audio recorded, the same as Mark Means asked, in addition to a transcript. What? Okay. Where's the part about it not being sealed? Oh, yes, Mr. John Pryor, I forgot. You got Mr. Mark Means to put that in there, so if things go wrong and attacks are made, it's going to go on to Mark Means and not you, because you're going to say, well, I didn't ask for it to be released to the public. We're not making him look like, we're not trying to make Mr. Wood look like an idiot. It's not us that asked for this to be unsealed. It's Mark Means. See where I'm going with this? Okay, and then it's just the certificate of service. Okay, so now we're going to, there's an affidavit of Rob Wood here too, and I will briefly go over that, you guys, because I may have time, I may not, but because I want to chit chat with you guys after this too. Okay, so now this is electronically filed the very next day. Mr. Rob Wood. Okay. from the Madison County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. It's not Rob Wood that filed this motion, but Rob Wood did file, this is his affidavit, okay? So, being that Rob did his affidavit, this is what the state of Idaho has now filed their motion: objection to the defendant's motions to disqualify prosecuting attorney and to extend the time on motion to dismiss, okay? So this is what the state has filed now in response to Rob Wood and Martin Means' motions. State of Idaho, by and through the Madison County Prosecutor's Office serving as special prosecutor in Fremont County in the above captioned case, hereby objects to the defendants, and this is against Chad and Lori here, as you can see right here. Okay, hereby objects to the defendant's motion to disqualify the prosecuting attorney and motion to extend time on motion to dismiss, and denies each of the allegations herein as follows. The Madison County Prosecutor's Office was appointed special prosecutor in this matter on or about June 10th, 2020. At all times, the Madison County Prosecutor's Office has acted in accordance with the Idaho Rules of Professional Conduct and has strived to seek justice in this case while acting in accordance with its duty to protect the rights of the defendants, Chad and Lori Daybell. Rob Wood did not coerce, unduly influence, coach, or intimidate any witness or instruct a witness how to respond to any questions by law enforcement. The allegations are meritless. At all times during the recordings referenced by the defense, Summer Shiflett and Zulema Pastinas were represented and accompanied by their Arizona attorney, Garrett Smith. So there's the attorney. He's the one that recorded this, unbeknownst to Rob Wood. Mr. Wood has never met with Miss Sheffield Flat or Miss Pastinas outside the company of their attorney. The meeting with Miss Shefflett took place on or about October 1st, 2020, and the meeting with Miss Pastinas took place on or about October 2nd, 2020. Both meetings took place at the Chandler, Arizona Police Department. The meetings among Mr. Wood, Mr. Smith, Miss Shefflett, and Miss Pastinas came about as a result of Miss Pastinas reaching out to law enforcement and to Mr. Wood's office through her attorney, Mr. Smith. The meetings among Mr. Wood, Miss Smith, Miss Shefflett, Miss Pastinas were introductory in nature and not investigative. The said meetings took place before investigative meetings with law enforcement. Mr. Wood did not sit in on the meetings with law enforcement. At no time did Mr. Smith make any objections to the statements or questions by Mr. Wood after the introductory meetings. Mr. Smith accompanied his clients to interviews with law enforcement in which they actively participated of their own free will. At no time did Mr. Smith raise an objection or concern that Mr. Wood had coerced, unduly influenced, coached, intimidated, or instructed a witness on how to respond to any questions. Nearly 2.5 months have passed from that October conference until now, wherein no objection was ever raised. Further, Mr. Smith has never raised any concerns or objections on what occurred on those days. Not only did Mr. Smith not object to anything said during the initial meetings with Miss Shiflett, Miss Pastinas, Mr. Smith, Miss Pastinas, Mr. Smith and Miss Pastinas then met with law enforcement a second time a few weeks after the first meeting. Mr. Wood did not record the meeting with Mr. Smith, Miss Sheffield, and Miss Pastinas. The recordings provided by the defense were recorded without the knowledge or consent of Mr. Wood and do not include the entirety of the conversations among Mr. Wood, Mr. Smith, Mrs. Shiflett, Mrs. Pastinas, and as such appear at some level to be incomplete and or possibly edited. The state has reason to believe that Mr. Smith recorded these conversations due to the fact that part of the recording with Mrs. Pastinas appear to have taken place outside of Mrs. Pastinas' presence. What? Well, how can part of the conversation with Mrs. Pastina in the recording taken place outside of her presence? I don't get it. Anyway, the state is unaware if Miss Shiflett and Mrs. Pastina consented to the recordings or to any disclosure to third parties. The state acknowledges that Arizona is a one-party consent state, but notes that the Arizona Attorney Ethics Advisory Committee considers most non-consensual recorded conversation by attorneys to be unethical with very few exceptions. A 219 opinion said by committee is available at, and there's a link here for that, what he's stating. Okay, in regards to the motion to extend time to dismiss, the state notes that the defendant, Lori Vallow Daybell, waived her preliminary hearing and as such waived her right to question whether probable cause exists and if it was proper for the magistrate court to bind her over to district court. The state objects to any extension of time for the defense's motion to dismiss. In regards to the defendant's allegation that the state has concealed evidence in violation of the Brady and Rule 16, the state denies any such allegation and notes that the defendant has not pled this issue with any degree of particularity. The state further states that discovery in this case is ongoing and the state has and will continue to comply with Rule 16. This objection is supported by the affidavit of Rob Wood in support of motion to disqualify prosecuting attorney and motion to extend time on the motion to dismiss filed herewith. Wow. On a motion to a motion to a motion to a motion to a motion. See the circus? Not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just reporting it. This objection applies in both the Lori Noreen Daybell and Chad Daybell cases where a similar motion was filed in each case. The state requests an expedited hearing on this matter. And then there's it's Troy Evans from the Deputy Special Prosecuting Attorney for Fremont County that filed this motion. Okay. Now, here is the affidavit for Rob Wood, and it's basically just his affidavits swearing to everything that I just read in Troy's motion. Okay, of objection to this motion that both dumbbells have filed. Okay, so I'm not going to go over this. I will scroll through it like this. So if you guys want to read through it, you can pause it once it's on my page. Hopefully I don't mess up and not put this to my page. But it's just basically he signed an affidavit saying everything that was just in that motion is true, and he signed it. Okay. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. I'm going to go back to this. So now I can see you. Okay, so now I can see. Dawn says, now it's too blurry to read. Oh, well. Well, I'm sorry. I did my best. I don't know what happened, why it went so blurry. It does go blurry, you guys, when I just scroll back up to the top of it. So I've got it set back at the top. So there you go, you guys. That's what I got regarding this. And I just hope that this does save to my channel. Like I said, I'm all new to this, so please forgive me. The other one I tried to set up, I wanted to, everything I just read, I had just got finished reading, read it all through, and I don't know, I tried to put it so it gave me 10 minutes to make a coffee before I sat down and watched it with yous, and it hit Gandhi. So I had to do it again. So now, please forgive me. I'm glad you guys were all here. But please forgive me if this does not save to YouTube, because I don't know. Oh, thank you, Mr. Thank you very much for that. Super sticker. I appreciate it. The last part was just Rob Wood's affidavit that he's swearing, like, when I read through the state's response to their motions to dismiss Rob Wood, everything that I read through there is on Rob Wood's affidavit. And that's just saying everything there was true. So that's why I didn't go through it again, because my throat is starting to get sore. Like I said, I had to do this twice because my recording didn't take. But yeah. Thank you again, Mr. for that super sticker. So yeah, it's like you didn't miss anything. I kind of like this StreamYards, but I'm praying that this is going to be a hit and miss if this shares to my YouTube channel. I'm hoping it does. So I'm going to check up here. I hope it saves in my live. I'm trying to see here if there's any settings. You know, I don't see any settings, you guys, so bear with me. I have a black screen. Yeah, because I've only got my mic. I don't have my camera set up. It's just my mic, so I could share my screen. Because when I tried to do it with my webcam, my webcam kept covering my screen. So I just plugged in a mic to use. My first ever, you guys, stream. So please forgive me. Cam mic. I don't want to touch anything because I gotta. I don't know what'll happen. So, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this. Hopefully it saves to my YouTube channel, you guys. I don't know if I should click Leave Studio or End Broadcast. Like I said, you guys, it's my first one. I appreciate you guys. You guys, you guys are awesome. Come in and like I said, I set up the first one and then had to delete it because I couldn't get you guys to see anything. You could hear me, but you couldn't see my screen share. It was just like I was pulling my hair out, and I wanted to get this out to you guys. So hopefully it shared. If not, at least you guys got to see it. Cross your fingers for me that I don't mess this up. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, I'm starting to believe that, because at least I got this part done and up. So thank you very much, you guys, for coming out and going through this with me. And I will look into it for you. Worst case, you may have to post the live. I don't care about posting the live, Des. I just hope it's there. Okay? Okay, so what do I click, Des? Do I click Leave Studio? Or do I click End Broadcast? I'm waiting for Des to answer. Thank you, Hippie. Hang on, I'm looking it up 1 sec. Yeah, like I can see me messing this up. I really can, you guys. So I hope that you guys took that all in. So while we're waiting for Des to look at that, what do you guys think about Mark Means and John Pryor being in the same, they're sharing an office? And do you guys think the same way as I do? Is John Pryor using Mark Means as his little gopher to do things that he doesn't want to be held accountable for? Because as you noticed, John Pryor didn't put in there that he wants this unsealed. I wish I could put up like a little picture or something so you guys aren't looking at a black screen. You can teach an old dog new tricks with treats. Thank you, Rosie. I bet you if I'm not a drinker, like I have a glass of wine and I'm really tipsy. I bet you, what are your options again? Leave studio and broadcast. Because I want it to save to YouTube. When I watched the video on how to do this, you guys, it looks simple. It's simple. It probably is simple, but I'm not seeing it. Hello, Maureen. You just missed everything. I'm just trying to figure out now how to save this to YouTube because I'm using StreamYard for the first time. Maureen, are you proud of me? The first try at this was a bust, but this time it worked. So now I'm trying, Des is looking up what I got to do now to save this to my YouTube channel. Woohoo! Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Cindy. I'm just looking. I can scroll through these ones without messing anything up. Thank you, Cindy. You have a great day too. You're very welcome for the live. Thank you for coming into my first ever StreamYard. That actually worked. I don't see why it wouldn't save either, because the way that you set up StreamYard, you got to use what platform you want to stream to. So I'm hoping it does, but I don't know which one. Do I leave studio or I just end broadcast? I think I just end the broadcast and then save everything in studio, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to open my YouTube and see if it's there somewhere right now. Lives. It is. It is there. Okay, so I think I just end the broadcast. So with that, sorry, Dee, if you're still looking up, I'm just going to end it because I do see it on my live part of YouTube. So hopefully it saves, okay? So, like I said, you guys, I've got to leave very shortly, but I wanted to get this in. I would have had more time to chat had the first one hit end broadcast and call me. Okay, I will do that. So thank you all for coming out. Hopefully all this is not going to be for nothing. I know you guys all seen it as I was streaming it, but I'm hoping that this is going to save to my YouTube channel so you guys can rewatch it again if you want. Okay? Bye-bye for now, you guys.